Pure Vida, welcome everyone again to Mulan Forum. I'm Rachel and I'm super excited to bring you an incredible woman leader today from one of the happiest countries in the world. She's young, experienced, and accomplished. She's quite good at branding, so do listen carefully for her sharing, where you will gain lots of insights. Of course, Jordan will tell us more about this best friend. There will also be game session, interview, and Q&A. Last but not least, as always, we will ask the guests to give us some key takeaways. That's all about the agenda. With that, Jordan, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Rachel. And morning and good evening, Nela. So I think it's great to have Nela here and be a part of our Mulan Forum. And I was thinking maybe Rachel will introduce Nela. And in fact, if you pay more attention about DEI, you should be able to know, right? Nela is the head for entire CS who's driving the DEI. I think this is exactly tied up with the session today. Mulan, I think, is just one small piece of that DEI. And we know each other, I think, mainly after the ODNS, but I think the same feeling, like I mentioned about rules, about the others. I feel we know each other for quite a long. And then later she will share more about her journey. I think what I discovered is I feel Nela shared quite similar journey like what I have in HP. And I believe she will give you a lot about her insight in the journey in HP, and also at her age and being such a great executive level position, and she must can give you a lot of tips. So without further ado, I'm giving the stage to Nela. Over to you, Nela.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And good day, everybody. I'm so glad to be here with you. And I'm very humble and grateful actually to be sharing this this time with all of you. Hopefully it's going to be a really interactive session. I know we will have some Q&A and such, but I will go first and share something and maybe some things about me. Probably this is the first time you're seeing me, my name and my face. So let's get to know each other just a tiny bit. Let me go ahead and share really quickly here. And just let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yes.
Yes. Okay,
yes.
Great. And thank you so much, Jordan and Rachel, for the invitation. And like Jordan said, yes, we've been working just a few months together, but it's been quite a journey so far. And definitely we feel that we've known each other for longer than that. So that's, I think, one of the magic points of working really as a team and in having such a great partnership built that even in a completely virtual environment, we have been able to set up that relationship, not only with us as peers, but also with the entire team. So hopefully you see that from the leadership as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show a bit of my journey so far, but I will start first with me at a personal level. So you get to see more of me as Nela. And most of the people will actually go by that, Nela, which is a short and probably easiest way to pronounce my name. What you see in the pictures, a lot of family. I'm all about family, and I really like and love to spend time with all of my family members. You get to see at the top, really top, my husband's family, my in-laws. That's, my husband here. Let me get a pointer so it's easier for you to see. So I'm married, and this is Carlos, and we've been married for 9 years already. We are godparents actually to 6 children. That has been my first experience with children. And I become a first-time mom last year. So we do have one daughter whose name is Camila, and you can see Camila here, all smiley. She's just turned 1 last April. Time flies. And like you probably are reading there, becoming a mom has really been the biggest surprise and adventure of my life. That's how I can actually describe it. These are my parents, my brother and sister. I have two siblings. I'm the oldest one of my family. And I have been actually the only one that has moved from the city that we were raised to another part of the country for my entire family, actually. So that was kind of a big deal when that happened and when I took that decision. As Rachel opened up, I was born in Costa Rica, the home of Pura Vida. So hopefully some of you have known a bit based on the tour that we did. And whenever you want to come, you're more than welcome. I started off in HP 15 years ago as a technical agent. And it's been a journey that I will talk to a bit more in the other slide. I am, as a profession, I am an industrial engineer. I also have a master's degree that I was able to complete last year. So just in time before Camila came over, which was right timing for me as well. And then on a personal level, I really like playing tennis. I'm not a pro, but I've been doing that and practicing for about maybe 8 years, something like that. So, we can probably have a match sometime if you want to. I think Jordan knows me that whenever we meet. I really love music. I don't have any abilities or talent. I really like to listen to it. My favorite band is Led Zeppelin, so I'm a big rocker. One of the things that I really miss about the pandemic is that I haven't been able to go to a concert for all of this time. And that is something that I really, really love. So, that's one of the things that I've been looking forward to do as soon as we can. When it comes to food, I'm from Costa Rica, so definitely coffee is in my life every single day. I really love to eat pasta, and probably you can relate to this one, but I really love how my mom cooks. And whenever I have a chance for her to visit, the one thing that I will ask for her to do for me is cooking and leave a lot of food in the fridge for that week. And I also love to read. You will see there this big pile of books. That's my queue right now, waiting for me to try to finish that. So I love to read when I can. I don't have, much time now, but I'm trying to dig into that queue soon enough, of hopefully before the year ends. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so that's a bit of me. This photo here of the beach, Costa Rica is full of great places. That's one of my favorite spots. That's called Puerto Viejo. And actually, I'm heading there tomorrow. So looking for some time off. About my career, just quickly, I won't go through all of this. You can go ahead and see it, but I started off at HP 15 years ago. I had one job prior to that as a maintenance technician in a shop from a local computer company that we had here in Costa Rica. It no longer exists, but that's where I began. And after being an agent, I started moving into several other positions, mostly in the contact center. I was a quality analyst, and then I started off, as you can see here, in 2008 in my path as in leadership specifically. I really liked at that time, or was really looking forward to be on that path. That was something that it really moved me, and I certainly started a passion for it that early. And then one of the opportunities came up. It was quite an experience. I was really young. I think I was around 21, 22 years old when I started off as a supervisor. And the first team that they assigned me was, a completely male team, software, really highly senior technical guys, all of them older than me. So it was quite a thing to being introduced to that team. But it was an experience that I will never forget, because I learned so much and I had such a good relationship with them too at the end of it all. And then some other things. I also got a black belt certification in 2012, and then move up the ladder, continue with my studies. And maybe one of the highlights has been that also in 2019, I became the director for as well the Costa Rica site, which was one of the actually things that I was pursuing in my career. So I have also that other hat. And today taking care of the LATAM theater under OAN's organization. So it's been a really, I think, a journey to also be grateful for. I've learned a lot. It's been something that I cherish when it comes to the experience and the exposure and the perspective, working with a lot of different people and getting to know a lot of different folks around. And doing, even though it's been in the contact center too since I started, I've been in several different positions with working with either different projects or challenges that have helped me moved across. So that's a bit about my career as well. And the other piece that I will bring before we move to the rest part of the agendas is some, let's say, maybe tips for you that I thought will be useful, and then some recommendations of, either authors of videos that I think as we think about leadership or really setting that presence or understanding how can we truly believe more in ourselves and try to gauge all of those things that we need to when it comes to development. I really like a couple of things that I will show you here for you to have as recommendations. So I'm going to bring you that. So the first thing is kind of setting that presence. I think all of us, when it comes to the workplace and working with so many different people and doing so many different things, what we're also trying to do, either directly or indirectly, is building our brand, our personal brand, building that presence, right? So 5 things that have helped me to do that and that I continue to do, because I think this is something that certainly never ends, right? So it's kind of evolutionary process, if I can put it that way. But for me, first, it starts with self-awareness. So really knowing who you are, what's your value, what do you want to be, how do you want people to know you, right? And what's kind of that footprint that you want to establish. So that's really important, how we really know ourselves, right? So we can then truly bring that value and see what we need to do for ourselves first, and try to be focused on that. The other thing for me that not only, if you're not, this is not only important if you do have a leadership position or a title. I think this is something that you as a person truly need to practice and do it. Certainly be authentic, be genuine. If you're doing something, is because you truly care, because you truly believe that, and people can actually see that. And when you are a leader or have a title for that, it's really important so you can really build those personal connections in a way that it's also transparent, and it's in a way that people knows it's authentic. The other one, it's really continue to seek opportunities to upskill yourself. This can be either educational, just theory. This can be really stretching yourself in tasks or things or even positions, but continuously look for ways to upskill, to learn, to understand new things, because that will certainly play into your advantage, not only today, but tomorrow. The other piece, and I think this is something really important to within HP, right? Given that is such a big company, is how you build your network. What kind of people outside your internal team you're able to tackle on, to talk to have exposure to. That's really important as we kind of move along. So that's one of the things that, as you try to, build your career, understand what do you want to do, how can you do it, having that network, not only for people to be kind of your sponsor, but also coaches or mentors, it's really key. And another one that it's a phrase that one of my favorite authors on leadership uses, and that's Brené Brown, is choose courage over comfort. This is another way to kind of say, move out of your comfort zone, but every day try to choose to be brave. Try to get the uncomfortable, try to be uncomfortable, and try to make sure that you can just show up, even though it's a challenging thing, it's maybe a difficult thing, it's a thing that you don't know. Stretching yourself to that level will certainly pay off and help you. So that will be kind of the other piece of advice that I can go ahead and provide. So that will be my 5 items here. My first recommendation, and this is another author from a book that I read that it's called This is Day One, the book. But this is a TED Talk. I think it's about 6 minutes, really, really, really short. But I think it's how we see leadership, right? Not just in the title itself, but how we can impact and influence people with the routine stuff, with the daily stuff, right? And how we can actually create really good and impactful moments from what we say, what we do, how we show up. So I think it's something that really has stayed with me since the day that I've seen it. Because I think all of us have that power, and it doesn't require a title of leadership, executive, manager, or supervisor to have that impact into other people. Um, and how we can practice that, right? And make that value. So I think the impact each of us, each of you can have in your peers, your family, your friends, with the things that you do, and how grateful we are for the things that they even do for us, right? And how we show that on a daily basis. It's critical. Sometimes people just need that thank you or that acknowledgement. And it can be so simple, but yet so big and significant for someone else that it can really change the day. So this story and the way he really puts that was and is very impactful for me, and it's something that I try to practice. Maybe not every single day, but as frequent as I can as well. So that's one of the recommendations if you can go ahead and see it, or if you're interested. And the other one, I think you don't have Netflix, but I think Rachel helped me out, and this is probably available in the other applications that you have. This is a documentary, a talk to from one of my favorite authors that it's called Brené Brown, and this is called A Call to Courage. It ties in with my 5th point on the previous slide. And this one is really great because she talks from her experience and from some of the things that has happened to her. She's a researcher on vulnerability, which is a topic that we don't talk that much, right? We think vulnerability is a sign of weakness, which is quite the contrary. Vulnerability is a sign of being also strong and being able to show yourself as who you are. So I think all of us too, as leaders sometimes, and as persons, sometimes we are afraid to show vulnerability in different forums or with different audiences, but this can also be really impactful in how that help us to actually be more transparent, to actually go ahead and see different and new perspective into things, and how it can help us drive, into better outcomes and decisions, to drive innovation and creativity amongst ourselves. Was really eye-opening, and I did relate to a lot of what she said in that specific talk. So another good recommendation, I think it's not only good at a professional level, but also personal, and maybe some highlights that you can take from it. So if you're interested, I will highly recommend this one. And this is where I end, as well, with just kind of aligning to what I was explaining in terms of having that courage to always show up, to be seen, to know your value, to know who you are, and to make sure that you are present for for what makes you comfortable, for what doesn't make you comfortable, for what you know that you can do to your strengths, what you know that you can actually go ahead and do with the potential that you have, and how that makes you grow. I think it's all about that, having that self-reflection and making sure that we play into our advantages, but also ensuring that we have that we can show, that courage to do what we can probably understand today or see today that we are not able to. But I assure you that if you put your mind to it, you might even surprise yourself. So that's how I tend to see things. So with that, I will close my first sharing, and then we can probably move up to the next topic on the agenda.
Nela, thank you very much for the insightful sharing. You know what? As I have the privilege to watch your slides in advance, I already watched the 2 videos you recommended, and I love
wow.
it. Yeah. And I also bought the books you mentioned to put in our library. And
that's awesome.
For the everyday leadership about the lollipop moments, I have a question for you. But before the interview with you, I would like some interaction with the audience. So let's have a game first.
Perfect.
So for the top 3 winners, we will give your favorite books to them as gifts. So now everyone, please follow my instructions. First, let's go to kahoot.it, kahoot.it, and then input the game pin, 9235343. There are some true or false questions about Nela.
And I promise I won't play.
And there is a word cloud in the end for what you learned from Nela today. We're having more and more participants. Come on, everyone. We have like about 90 participants in this forum, so come on, everyone. I will give you 30 seconds and then we'll get started.
I want to see someone who can challenge me today, right? So Nela, you know, last time I win the game when Ruth was here.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So you paid a lot of attention. Let's see how you do this time, Jordan.
Jordan, you should give others some opportunities.
But I like that book also, right? Maybe I need to go to the library later.
Okay, sure. Okay, let's get started. Nela, you can give them some hints.
Okay, we'll see how it goes.
Okay, the first one. True or false? In 2019, Nela became Costa Rica site director, becoming the first woman to hold that position within HP at a local level. True or false? Okay, 30 are right.
Good.
Jordan, you are the number 1 now. Okay, second one. Nela is a passionate marathon runner. True or false? Nela likes tennis. So what about marathon? Is she a runner?
What do you think?
11.
It's definitely false.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Claire, you are number 1 now. Okay, Nela started her journey as a technical support agent for servers in HP 15 years ago. True or false? So when Nela joined HP, she was a technical support agent for servers. Okay, 29 right. Let's go to next. See who is the winner now. Claire, you are on top.
Awesome.
One of Nela's all-time favorites is The Hobbit by Tolkien. True or false? Nela
This might
didn't
be a
mention
hard
that.
one because I didn't mention that.
You need to have a
But
guess.
yeah.
So is Hobbit Nela's favorite? Oh, half-half.
Oh, wow. Half and half. So
It
it
is.
is. It
Yeah,
is. I've read
next.
it and I've probably seen the movie, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, I thought most of us watched the movie. Next. Jordan.
Oh, Jordan, you're in first place. Claire, we don't see you anymore.
Yeah, Claire, come on. Beat Jordan. So Nela's favorite band is Led Zeppelin. Nela mentioned that. True or false? Okay, 27 are right. Let's go to next. See who's the winner now. Emily.
There you
The
go.
top winner is changing. Okay, the last true or false. Choose courage over comfort is one of the ways to build your brand. True or false? Step up to your comfort zone. Nela mentioned that, right? Okay, 31 are right. Next. It's about the word cloud. Tell us what you have learned from Nela today. Nela, you see you are a superstar.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Nela is so young and accomplished. Tell us what you have learned from Nela today. I'll give you 1 minute, so 20 seconds left. Looking forward to the answers.
Yeah.
Build my own brand, keep learning, courage over comfort. Show yourself, courage, authentic. Wow, I love the words.
Yeah, this is awesome to see. Thank you so much.
You guys did listen carefully.
Yeah.
And let's see who are the winners. Swelly,
Let's see.
number 3. Jordan. Let's see who is the top one. Emily, congratulations.
Yay.
Congratulations to the winners.
Congrats.
And
This
don't
was
forget
fun.
to contact me for the gifts. Thank you. Thank you for your active participation. And now it comes to my turn to ask Nela some questions.
All right, let's see.
So Nela, the first one, I want a story that is unique to you as a woman. So tell
Okay.
us.
Sure. So for this one, and this one is pretty unique for me, given my experience and how I was raised in that sense. So it's that how our mom raised us. I have two other siblings, but I spent most of my childhood with my brother because my sister was born when I was 12 years, so she was pretty apart. I come from a very traditional family, and my mom chose, due to different circumstances at the time, to stay at home and take care of us, which is quite a job itself, right? So she did not continue to pursue her career aspirations at the time, but she took such an incredible ownership of her role with both of us, and with me too as a woman, as well, being such a positive yet a very quiet leader with both my brother, and me, and raising us in a way that was quite different from her personality and from herself specifically. She really helped me to find my value, to build my confidence, to not underestimate myself and not let others do that. And although obviously I had challenges along the way, and all of us probably go through different phases of our lives, those values and those bases that she gave me had meant a great value for me. And the other thing is that she really taught us not to let fear limit us, right? Although she had gone through some personal experiences in which she've done that, she kind of just turned the corner with the education to us, which I really admire that from her, because I think it was not easy for her to also step out of her own comfort zone from some of the things maybe she has. And it's and being happy with who we were, right? So and what we had to offer, I think those were the things that really kind of made a difference for me in how she took ownership of that. Like I said, she really showed me that the world in front of us is so much more than it is pictured or sold, than what we can see, and that has had great significance in my life. So I think I cannot thank her enough to for choosing to spend all of that time with us and teaching us so many great things for us as a person, right? And so such great values that I think have really helped me to move along, not only in my career but also in my personal life. So that's pretty unique for me, because I've seen her transformation, and I've seen how she took that so into heart, and how she kind of devoted herself to us, but in a way that she made us grow, and look things differently that may be what traditionally they are.
Thank you, Nela. Thank you so much. And we admire that your family and give you the confidence and aspirations. Excellent. And the second one, what was one advice that greatly impacted you? The lollipop moments others gave you.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good one. So, to give you a bit of a context, one of the things that that has been a challenge for me ever since that I think I've been in, school or college and started working, is trying to spend time for myself, right? So I'm one of those people that have had to learn how to really spend vacation, even take vacation, right? And try to prioritize myself. So one of the advices that I am really thankful for, and things that I have started to appreciate even more over time, is that it is okay to prioritize yourself sometimes, your well-being, and you as a person. So I think that this might be interesting for some of you, but I think it's also relevant, because sometimes in the midst of everything and all of the craziness that we might be going through, and all of the things that we have to accomplish or feel the need to accomplish, we might lose the sense that we need to also devote some time to ourselves and just to us. And this one has really struck me, because I had probably times in my life that I didn't know what a vacation was. I worked a lot of hours and I was not dedicating and not seeing what I was actually not doing for me. And that had an impact in my health at the end of the day. So your well-being is just as important as everyone else's. And if you do not take care of yourself, you might not be able to be there for the rest that needs you or to be highly effective. So I've been working on that a lot. I am better at it. You know, I still have to do my work, but now that I also have a daughter, I truly understand the importance too of that and try to prioritize more for me rather than, you know, everybody else or everything else. So that's one that I can share.
Yes, to prioritize. Fantastic. And the third one, you were named as a Costa Rica site director in 2019, becoming the first woman to hold that position within HP at a local level. You have been with HP for 15 years. In such short time, you've become such a young and accomplished leader. So what do you think helped you walk this far? Please give us some tips so that we can follow the role model steps.
Well, first of all, I'm really humble for those comments and how you've positioned this. But I think for me, I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm really driven to in the things that, you know, kind of drive that passion. So this is one of the things that I always try to do my best. You know, no matter what, always try to do my best. And the other thing that I think has helped me too is going back to some of the things that I talked to you about in my presentation is being really genuine and working on those connections, being there for the people and really truly being a leader because, you know, I want to really make a difference for the people, to be there to help, to be there to make things better and not just to hold a title. So how I've seen, you know, the steps in my career more than just building up in my professional ladder is also how can I use this to really help others to make a difference for the people that is working with us, and how can I, you know, make things better for them as well. So it's one of the things that kind of lives with me every single day. And I was also very clear that I wanted to hold, you know, the specific direction of the site too, because there is so much to do. It's such a different thing as well from probably my day-to-day stuff in the operation, and it gives me a lot of learnings and different perspectives because I get to work with a lot of different functions and teams and even external parties. But I think those you know are the things that have kept me on track, and that I also try to make sure that I don't lose on the way as I have held these positions specifically.
Brilliant. I think that helps a lot for our potential female leaders here. And this is my favorite question to ask. So anything you would like to tell your younger self?
Probably a lot of things, but if I have to choose, I think one of the things that I will tell maybe two. One is it's okay not to be perfect. That's one of the things that I probably struggle a lot with my younger self, right? That I felt the need that everything had to be just perfect and polished and, you know, super good. And sometimes it is okay not to be like that. Sometimes good enough, it's good enough, right? So I tended to get really frustrated with that. So that's one. And the other one that I will probably tell is have a bit more fun and don't be so hard on yourself. I've always been pretty hard on myself too. And I'll probably just tell her to, you know, kind of chill just a bit or relax just a bit and not be so hard on you, that you're doing good and that you can keep on that path.
Okay, thank you. But you look perfect to me, Nela.
Thank you.
And that's all the questions I want to ask you. Thank you so much for answering them in such a candid and inspiring way. Nela, I know there
Thank you.
must be lots of questions from the audience. So, ladies, time is all yours. So, who would be the first to ask Nela the question?
My first. Hello. Hello,
Hey.
Nela. Hey, I'm Lucy. Thank
Hi,
you for
Lucy.
your sharing. Yeah, it's really helped me a lot. And in your sharing, I found that you are always confident to show yourself anywhere. So I would want to know, did you feel unconfident about yourself? And how did you deal with that?
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
a good question. Sure. Thank you, Lucy. Nice seeing you. So yes, the answer will be yes. I think, probably it's still common, and it's still maybe in some ways expected to feel either a bit nervous or unconfident in things that you might be doing because they are new. You haven't done that before. You are meeting someone new, right? Or you have to present in maybe a big forum or things of that sort. But the way that I overcome is one, and this probably is a takeaway from me, is, I am my biggest fan. Nobody else in this world is going to cheer up more for me than myself. So I have to cheer up for myself first, right? And that's one of the things that I will tell you is you have to be your biggest fan, and you have to believe in yourself first before anybody else does, right? That's one. The other piece that helps me is prepping a lot. I felt, to tell you the truth, I felt pretty unconfident. I'm not comfortable with. I first held my daughter, my newborn daughter, and I have no idea, what I'm gonna do right now with an just newborn baby. So prepping myself, getting the knowledge and education, I've trained myself a lot in everything, and you probably will call me crazy, but I've done trainings in baby sleep, in car seat security, in how to feed a baby, for example. But that has given me the tools to feel more comfortable with her on a daily basis, and has built up my confidence to actually do a better job for her and for me every single day. And the other is getting advice, coaching or mentoring from people that I trust. If I don't feel, truly comfortable with something, so going into people that I know can give me genuine and candid advice or mentoring for, whatever I am facing. That will be the other thing that I will try to do, or do to help on that sense.
Okay, thank you. Yes, being a mom is a really hard work in this world. And
It
I think,
is.
yeah. But I think every day I will tell myself, you are the best. I will deal with that. Thank you.
Yeah. No, definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nela. Thank you, Lucy. So, who would be the second?
Oh, hi, Nela. I'm Lily. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Lily. Nice meeting you
Hi.
too.
Yeah, I really love Camila. She is so cute. I also have the little kid similar age. So
Oh,
my
that's
question,
great.
yeah. So my question is, as a successful female leader in the workplace, how did your experience in work help you to educate your kid? Do you have specific example to share?
Oh, wow. And I've been a mom for just 16 months. So my experience in that arena, it's still building up. But in the few months that I have had Camila and I have had this experience, I think what I'm trying to do with her, and based on a lot of reading that I do and how I see things that I will like to be managed, and from my experience with my mom evenly, it's raise her in a positive discipline environment, in one in which we can also build that confidence in her, for her to be independent, for her to be determined, for her to understand that she has a voice and that voice counts. I think for me that's really important. And we try to do that with everyday things in the house, to find her value and to also understand that she's able to take her own decisions and that we will respect those decisions. So right now she's really little, so she might not be able to take a lot of decisions, obviously, right? Or not even big ones, but maybe with small things for her to try to practice those elements and do things is like, okay, so which pajamas do you want to wear today, right? Or where do you want to sit? Things of that sort, but really understanding that if she chooses something, that her voice is heard, that counts, and that we are truly respecting that and living in an environment in which she feels confident enough to come to us with, anything that she might need, and kind of boosting that for her. So little things that we are practicing, is still learning a lot and knowing, but maybe something that I can share with you.
Yeah. Thank you for your share.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Nela. So who would be the next?
Hi, Nela. This is Yanjing.
Hey.
Hey, so nice to meet you. As Rachel mentioned, you are so young and accomplished leader. I would say I was also young as you, because I I also joined HP in 2006, same as you. Started as a technical engineer.
Wow.
Yeah, the same. So also joined. Finished my 15th anniversary just in August, and
Congratulations.
yeah, but thank you, but not as completely not as successful as you. Yeah, it's difficult for me to pronounce. So my question, yeah, is what do you think is the most valuable trait from you being growing so fast? Because when I see your career map, you are growing so fast that almost every year you change your, especially at the early stage of your career, almost every year you change your career, right? So what is your most valuable trait you can see from your personal career growth, and what is the most valuable trait you think being a director for the MS commercial market?
Sure. And I think that you are really accomplished too. You've been 15 years with HP, and probably you have a really good journey to feel proud of too. So I will just say that. So let's see, qualities. I think for me, and how I see myself is, being genuine, really truly caring for others, and not just, like I said before, for the title or for the position specifically, but what I can actually do and the responsibility and empowerment that brings. So how can I actually translate that to my team and my people? That's one. I will say that I'm also really determined. So if I, want something, or if I'm trying to get into something, I really work towards that, and have that vision and that goal, and even put specific timelines for myself. That can be quite a challenge too, but it's one of the things that I'll try to do. And then I think it's just being humble with what you have and who you are, and do not try to take a position of power to be above the rest of the people, but actually to being able to do things for them. So I think that's one of the things that has really kept me close to the people too, in that sense. And just do whatever I can in the best possible way. So, it might be hard or not, but I know that if I just put my heart and mind into it, it will be done. And that's how I try to work, both with my mind and my heart in everything that I try to do.
Thank you so much, Nina. I think I hope one day I could successful as you.
Yeah, but you are pretty successful right now.
If I may, I think Yanjing asked a good question. I think that's exactly the beauty of having a forum. We invite different leaders. And maybe Nela, you don't know. I think in the previous session, we also called Melody, who's our country HR head, come and share. I still remember what Melody mentioned to the team. One important part is more like career development is kind of like a marathon, right? And maybe someone run faster at the beginning. Maybe someone run a little bit faster in the middle, but maybe someone catch up and then eventually overcome a lot of challenges and become to the number one, right? So you need to have your own pace, and then you also need to have a clear goal and objective. I think eventually you will be there, and then you will reach your personal goal for sure.
Yeah, and I think you also have to define, pretty on point, you also have to define what that means for you, right? Probably being successful of having a career development, or being accomplished doesn't mean the same for you that it's for me, right? And we should not see other people's paths as that's the way accomplishment and success looks like, because that might look like different for me. So I have to build that sense, right? That path, understand that, and we can be having totally different journeys and still feel the same way of accomplishment and successful, at the end. So that's the other important piece, and build your own version of it. The one that will feel you, make you satisfied and proud and happy as well. I think that's really important.
True. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So who would be the next?
Hello, Rachel. Hello, Nela. It's Alison. I'm Alison from China Print Team. Okay. My question is about influence, because I think influence is very important to the career. With that gonna be much more easily to persuade someone or sell your idea. So my question is, looking back on your career, what things have strengthened your influence? And so could you share with us any decisive event or moments, and how did you seize them?
Sure. Okay, so I think on this one that I will probably point out is, I have had a lot of confidence and empowerment from, the empowerment that my previous managers and leaders have given me. So that has definitely helped. I have had really good mentors and people who has believed in me along the way, and that have given me the opportunity to develop, to do what I need to do, and to just tackle, that approach of growing and being exposed and stretching me here. So that's one. The other, I think it's also some of the acknowledgements that I have had from either my team or the people that I work with too, that is really important to me and something that I always look forward to have. And if that is positive, I know that I'm having the influence that I'm looking forward to have, because I see also, those connections and that network with them. And the other thing, I think it's probably tackling or managing events or situations that I, never in probably my wildest dreams I've probably imagined to do. One that I will actually never forget is that a couple of years ago, I actually had the opportunity to manage or coordinate a visit with the president of Costa Rica. At the time, well, it's the same one still, in Palo Alto, to the headquarters of HP, so we can get him into the headquarters and manage the visit there and get him introduced with some of the LT members evenly and such. So, that was such a significant event in my career, and one that was pretty successful, and I've never imagined myself doing that. And the other one, when I became the director of the site, the first time that I had to step in and jumped into a stage in an all-employee meeting and talk in front of probably more than 500 people just sitting there at the time, looking at me, and having to deliver a message, being my first time in that experience, and how I felt after doing that. That was also pretty significant and something that moved me a lot, not just because what I was seeing myself doing, but also because of the reaction that I was getting at the time, and how I felt I had that responsibility and empowerment to do something different and great for deciding for so many people. So maybe to put, some colors into that, but I thinking about what might be significant, I will say that.
Wow, thank you, Nela.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you, Alison. Thank you, Nela. I can't believe we're already at the bottom of the hour. So Nela, would you please say something to us as key takeaways?
Sure. So I think I will go back to some of my comments before. And first of all, thank you so much for the time. It really does fly. It went fast, but I feel pretty humbled to be here with you and sharing. So hopefully this was valuable for you. And first, I think, like I said, be your biggest fan. Nobody else will cheer up more for you if you don't do it yourself, right? Have that self-awareness and know what's the version of successful and accomplishment that will make you happy and that will fill your cup, right? So it doesn't have to be mine, it doesn't have to be Jordan's, it doesn't have to be anybody else's. It should be your own, and you have to create that path, because it will be the one that leads you, to where you are fully satisfied, and that you actually feel that you're doing something for yourself and for the rest. And then just put your heart and mind into everything that you do, right? Whatever that is, just make sure that you're doing it in a genuine and positive way, and that you are also making a positive impact, not for just you, but also for the rest that are along with you. So that's probably the three things that I will point out, and that has certainly are important for me.
Thank you so much, Nela. So Jordan, would you have anything to say?
Okay, I think Nela is a true master in regards building the personal brand. I believe right now you have more and more fans in Dalian. So I appreciate you spending time with the team here, and I hope once the pandemic goes away, you will have a chance to come and meet with all of us in person.
Yeah.
And by that time, I think we should continue our forum and then more to discuss and learn. Great session.
Yeah,
Looking
hopefully
forward.
I'm really looking forward to know you, but in person. So we'll see.
Yeah. Thank you so much again, Nela, for bringing us insights and wisdom and provoking thoughts. And thank you, Jordan.
No, thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining our session today. Have a great day.
Thank you. It was great.
Thank you, Nela.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank
Nela.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.